The cast of the Like a Dragon Yakuza live-action TV show have not played the video games. Let's talk about it. Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about the live-action Yakuza TV show that is going to be on Amazon Prime called Like a Dragon Yakuza. It is going to be out in this October, and I've been really excited about it because you guys know me. I'm a huge fan of the series, and if there's a chance where we can get a live-action TV show where it ends up being good, something like The Last of Us TV show or even Fallout, I will be so happy about it. But recently, it's been revealed that the cast of the live-action show have not played the video games at all. Obviously, I'm not saying this is like entirely a bad thing because we don't know what the show is gonna be like. It hasn't even been out yet. There's no real trailer. We got like a sneak peek, but it's not really showing much. So this is more so of my speculation and what I think. It's just discussing it pretty much. Alright, so this is an article by Games Radar, and it says, Like a Dragon Yakuza cast on how Kiryu evolves between the Prime video game series' two timelines, including a difference in fighting styles. There have been a lot of interviews with them, especially recently with San Diego Comic-Con just passing. I know they did press for this show, and there's a lot of interviews. You can see a lot of videos on YouTube already, and I watched a couple of them, and from what I can tell, they seem really enthusiastic about, like, you know, the TV show and what is going to be happening, and they're really excited about their version of the game. Now, like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with changing, you know, from the source material. I talked about it when I reacted to the trailer, and then also the news when this broke out a few months ago. I'm completely fine with changes. I think it's a good thing when you do adaptations just to keep things fresh and exciting. Of course, the core of it, I want it to be exactly the same like the video games, you know, because these games mean so much to me and also to a lot of other people. And, you know, we wouldn't want them to like kind of butcher it just because Kiryu is a very special character. This whole story is very special in its regard, so to have them say that they want to change things, it can be very daunting for a lot of people. So the article says here, everything harkens back to two timelines, Takuchi told Games Radar Plus at San Diego Comic-Con. Everything is in contrast between 1995 and 2005. There was a hot-headed messy kid in 1995 to grow a cold, cool, masculine character in 2005. Now, we don't really see a lot of Kiryu's like backstory unless you played Yakuza 0, of course, but his personality, at least from like my understanding when I played the games, I feel like Kiryu's personality didn't change too much. I feel like he's still that very stoic guy who takes things very seriously. I don't really see him as like this really hot-headed dude. I mean, he had his moments, but it's like I don't really see it that way. But again, this is something that they probably want to establish in the show because they want to be more serious. And I think that's a good thing because it will show character growth, especially if you're trying to show a character who is younger and then grows older later on within 10 years. So I think that makes sense that they want to like emphasize the younger version of Kiryu is a little bit different from how he is in the present day 10 years later. That change even extends to Kiryu's fighting style, as Takuchi explains. Even the character's fighting style is completely different. We made a clear differentiation between Kazuma's fight in 1995 and how he fights in 2005. Everything, it just has a major contrast between the two timelines. Again, I think this is a good thing. I do believe that they said that Kiryu's like job in before he gets taken to prison is like he's like an underground fighter. That's how he knows how to fight, because they never really explain it in the games. Like, how does Kiryu and everybody know how to fight? You just assume everybody knows how to fight. So I think that's a good thing that they're showing this. It could be like Kiryu's very sloppy when he's younger, or he's just very like, you know, he's not thinking about how he's fighting, and then when he gets older it's more calculated kind of thing. So I think that's a good thing too. So Games Radar continues to say that they played the games and everything like that. They're excited to see what Kiryu's fighting style will be like, but it's something that the actors have not done. They did not touch the games in preparation for their roles. That is something that's alarming to a lot of people. The most recent example that I can think of is The Witcher. Netflix's The Witcher live action. Henry Cavill was a perfect person to play Geralt of Rivia, just my opinion, because I feel like he embodies Geralt very well, and also he's a fan of both the books and the video games. So of course he's somebody who wanted to make sure that the Witcher TV show was going to be accurate a representation of like the source material. And I don't think Henry's opposed to like changes, but he wanted the core story to be remaining the same. This is the reason why after season 1 it started falling apart, because they tried to go veering off of the source material, and Henry kept fighting the writers to say, hey, we shouldn't do this, or Geralt wouldn't do this, Yennefer wouldn't do this. I have that problem with the show in general. They pissed me off because they kind of like ruined my favorite character, Yennefer, and making her this like terrible person. Like I don't know how you screw that up, but anyway, Henry fought to make sure that the writing would be the same, because he knew that the fans would notice this, and they didn't listen, and that's why Henry left. He's no longer Geralt of Rivia anymore, and I believe the cat, what's his Hemsworth, Liam Hemsworth is now Geralt of Rivia, and we're going to have a new season with him, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but Henry left because of that, and I really don't blame him, especially if you're having conflicts with the creative process, and especially if the character that you're playing as, you're very you love that character so much, and he's beloved. Of course it's going to be upsetting to know that these people are not taking it seriously. And then we flip it on the other hand to the Fallout TV show by Amazon, ironically. They did such an amazing job. And whenever I watched the interviews of the cast, they were all talking about how either they know about the games or they played it. The actress who plays Lucy, the main character in the Fallout TV show, she said that she went out and bought Fallout 4 and she played it just so she could understand the world and know what to expect and what to bring for her character. And I think that's amazing to do when you have people like that who respect the source material, because I feel like a lot of times, and I'm speaking as somebody who is a creative person, a lot of creative people, sometimes they have an ego in terms of like what they want to show and what they expect to happen. And when it comes to like Hollywood, bigger budgets and stuff like that, they want to appeal to the masses. They want to make sure everybody likes this, even if they're not fans. They want to bring in the numbers, make sure people are watching. And if you think about something more recent, the Borderlands movie that just came out, I'm not a fan of Borderlands. I can't really say too much of like if it's accurate or not, but I heard from people who are fans of the Borderlands series say how they were upset about the movie because, like, again, they were trying to appeal to the masses rather than just appeal to the fandom of Borderlands. When you appeal to the fans, I feel like you give service to making sure that that thing you're creating is well done and then will be received well. Example, I like the Fallout games. I watched the Fallout TV show with my husband. He doesn't like the Fallout games. He's never really played them, but we watched it together and he thought it was good. As somebody who doesn't like the games, he thought it was great. And that just goes to show that you don't need to appeal to the masses. You just need to stick to the source material. I think that's just like generally what it boils down to. If you stick to the source material, it will turn out great. Another example, I'm sorry going on a tangent. Another example is, this is not exactly the same realm of video games, but House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon recently wrapped up season 2, and I'm a huge fan of, George R. R. Martin's work, Song of Ice and Fire. This book, Fire of Blood, which is what House of the Dragon is based off of, they kind of veered off a lot. And then started changing things around. And one thing is, like, they changed Daemon Targaryen's character a lot. Like, obviously, if you didn't know the book that it's based off of, it's supposed to be from the point of view of a character. And obviously, the character doesn't have, like, accurate representation of the story he's telling. So that's an aspect of it. But if you change something like the heart of it, people are going to freaking notice. And I think that's why people are scared about the live action Yakuza TV show, because if they change Kiryu way too much, we're gonna notice. And we could be watching with somebody who's never seen the video games or played them. They wouldn't notice, but they would pick up that, the story doesn't flow well. I know these games, everybody in the world knows these games, Takuchi told us in the same interview, but I haven't played them. I'd like to try them, but they stopped me because they wanted to. For the character in the script, explore from scratch. That's why I decided not to play. And that's kind of disappointing because I've seen Takuchi's interviews and he seemed very, very excited to play as Kiryu. I thought, I think he'll do a good job. A lot of people were like really happy that he was picked to be Kiryu. So to know that he actually tried to play the games and they freaking stopped him is kind of disappointing, honestly. Open to the idea of things changing, but now I'm a little bit hesitant to know if this is going to be good or not. That sneak trailer, it looks good and I hope it is. I think what worries me more is not the whole setting of it. It's more of like the writing for it, how they're gonna write the characters, because you can have a really good TV show, but the characters could end up being written terribly. And I hope that's not the case for Kiryu, because he's such a complex character to begin with. And I hope they don't just make him this, like, I don't know how to, I hope they don't lose the heart of like what Kiryu is and what the Yakuza series is. And it's sad that the actors did try to play it, and enthusiastically so, because they sounded so enthusiastic about trying the games, but they're not able to. It makes it a little bit saddening, you know, because you can learn so much from like playing the video games and just see how you can base it off that. But at the same time, I understand it's an adaptation, they want to change things. So I guess it's a matter of, we're gonna have to see what happens when this show comes out. I do plan to be making videos on the show when it is out, and like I said, I'm trying to keep an open mind about it. It's just interesting how much mainstream, or I should say mainstream media, is so willing to not respect source material oftentimes when they do adaptations, and rather than understand that there is a fan base here, and using that fan base would be beneficial to them than just like appealing to the masses. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they have proven this time and time again with so many different live action adaptations, whether it's like anime, example like Dragon Ball Z, the Death Note live action movie, not the Japanese one, the one on Netflix, how they could have utilized the source material so much better, and then they end up not doing it. And then on the flip side, you have the Last of Us TV show and the Fallout TV show, and how well those two did, because they respected the source material and appealed to the fan base that already existed, which in turn led to more people finding out about Fallout or The Last of Us, enjoying the video games later on. Like, I've seen so many people pick up The Last of Us and the Fallout games because of those shows, and they've never seen or played them before, you know. And it just goes to show that you don't need to have this like huge expectation anymore. All right, I want to read some comments on the tweet that this article is based on. The worst thing you can do when adapting a story into another medium is to ignore the source material. Dead on Arrival, damn it. I was looking so forward to this. I think I have another Halo situation in hand. That's another show that adapted the video games. And I don't know anything about Halo, but I heard, yeah, it was bad. And they canceled it, right? Fallout did the right because it respected the source material. Pass for me. Well, this kills my hype for the show. Oh my gosh, here we go again. So yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know if I should be worried, or, you know, a lot of people are seeing it as a negative thing. You can look on Twitter, you can look on YouTube. A lot of people are worried now that they said that they haven't played it, but I'm going to be open-minded about it, because they could be genuinely surprising us and just say like, hey, we did our own thing, but it ended up being really good. I just hope that for the sake of this, it's not bad, because there was another live action Yakuza movie. I actually reacted to that too on my reaction channel, but it wasn't bad. It was goofy because, you know, I thought it was fun because the games are goofy at some points, but you watch it, if you didn't play the games, you have no idea what the hell is going on. So I hope in that regard that this one isn't the same sentiment where it's like, I don't recognize it anymore to be Yakuza. I recognize it to be like something separate, because that'd be kind of sad. Anyway, that's kind of like my take on it. Obviously, my opinion can change. I'm totally open to discussing it with you guys in the comments. I want to see what you guys think. I know obviously the Western side of the fandom will probably have a different opinion than the Japanese fandom will about the Yakuza live action TV show, because I do know some people from the RGG studio is working on this, or they're consulting with this TV show, so that kind of gives me hope that, you know, it won't be extremely bad or anything like that. It's just a matter of like how it's going to be handled, right? So there's still hope. You know, we don't know what's going to happen until October. That being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know if you guys want me to do more stuff like this. I don't mind discussing video games. I just wanted to do one on Yakuza because, you know, it's one of my favorite games, so I don't mind talking about it again. But yeah, I would love to hear your opinions about it. If you guys have your own thoughts about it, worries, do you think it's going to be good? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you guys know when I upload more content, and be be sure to check out my reaction channel because I will be reacting to this whole show over there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!